So, just giving my example, uh, when I started, so very first thing, let's see what else we need. We are, as of now, we are learning DevOps. Okay. So when I talk about DevOps, so what comes in mind, if you are experienced somewhere between 4 to 5 years, okay, 4 to 5 years. So there are posts in the DevOps, and these will be the like junior level post. In the junior level, we have first you can have junior DevOps engineer, junior DevOps engineer, uh, or you can have associate DevOps engineer, and maybe you can have associate DevOps consultant, something like this. These type of posts you will be seeing in the junior level for DevOps. So if you are something between 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, then you may apply for these posts. Okay, junior level DevOps engineer. I'll write out here in the junior level. Uh, 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years experience. Now, when I come to mid level, so in the mid level, you can have DevOps engineer. Either you can have AWS DevOps engineer. You can have Azure DevOps engineer. Somewhere it's like cloud DevOps engineer. These types of posts you will get in the mid level. Uh, One kind of more post you will get DevOps consultant.
So, Abhishek, sorry to interrupt you. I have taught 9 years experience. Okay,
Mhm.
how many I can put experience on Azure for mid level?
I'm discussing that only first at the very first level. So if we talk about for mid level, it's more than six you will need, 6 plus years, okay, till 8 years.
That into Azure, right, Abhishek?
Pardon?
Entire thing should be into Azure, right?
Depends. Azure, AWS. What?
It is like cloud, right? Entire 6 plus should be going into cloud.
Ha. Then let me go to the senior level. Senior level. Now, if you're somewhere around 8 plus years of experience, 8 plus, okay, 8 plus, then you can move into the senior level, 8 plus years. So in the 8 plus years, in the senior level, you can have senior DevOps engineer. Then you can have uh, senior AWS DevOps, senior Azure DevOps, like this. You can have. There is one more, site reliability. engineer, site reliability engineer. Maybe you guys have heard about SRE job, right? Similar to DevOps only. Then you may have heard about platform engineer. Platform. You can apply for this as well. Platform, site reliability. These are nothing but just other names for the DevOps only. Okay. These are all 8+ years, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like this.
Yes, sir. I have one question. Like, I come from a different field, not from cloud profile. So I am into operations with 10
I'm
plus
telling
years.
you everything. Wait, just wait.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Mid-level, senior level. And also you can have this senior DevOps consultant. Senior DevOps consultant. Actually, in companies like TCS, Infosys, there you will not have a post like DevOps engineer. They will have a post like consultant.
Assistant consultant, associate
Ah,
consultant.
they will have like DevOps consultant, associate. So associate in bracket, they have DevOps and then consultant. So they have system engineers, they have consultants, they have posts like this. Okay. In other companies, small companies or not as much big as IBM, TCS or Infosys, they can have direct, they are having direct posts like junior DevOps engineer, associate DevOps engineer, like that. But in big companies, you will find like post consultant and all. Consultant, senior
These are
system.
roles, right? Abhishek, you are talking about roles, no?
Huh. I'm talking about roles as of now. Right? So since I am starting with the resume preparation, you should know how you can prepare your resume, what things you will be needing, for what purpose you are preparing the resume. It depends. So that's why I'm starting like this. Okay. Now, if you go to the, at last, you will go to the management level. That's all. Management level. So in the management level, you will find principal DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer. Now, this is something around 11 to 12 years of experience. I'll say 12 plus, 12 plus years. Okay. Almost, you can say lead level, lead or project manager level.
So Abhishek, 12 plus means it's a relevant experience on DevOps itself, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Principal DevOps engineer. And principal DevOps engineer, then principal consultant, principal DevOps consultant. Uh, Senior SRE, senior SRE, or principal SRE, you can say, not senior, principal SRE. Like this, you will get posts like, now these are all like junior level, mid level, senior level, management level. Now, since say you are having some experience in now I'm telling you my scenario. I've done my engineering from electronics. Okay. You can take this as an XYZ scenario, but I'm giving you my scenario. Okay. So, done my engineering from electronics and communication. Okay. Communication is my engineering. Now, since I have a telecom as a subject, communication, so I started job with a telecom company. Okay. So telecom company, and I was an RF engineer. RF engineer. You know RF engineer, radio frequency, right? So whatever there are like issues and troubleshooting the cell towers and all those things, RF engineer. I started like that. But that was a very hectic job. Like you have to go 60 kilometers. There is a site 70 kilometers. All day long you are traveling only. Uh, Sometimes there was no food to eat, no water to drink. It's like that. It's like on the most of the remote locations they have cell towers and all. You have to go and uh, as an RF engineer, you have to take some
On field.
on field, total on field. Okay, so you have to manage the you have to hire the guys, you have to manage them, you have to guide them what to correct inside a cell tower, what is the issue, so all those things. Okay, so this was a kind of RF engineer. Okay, so I started like that, but later I realized that I cannot continue with this my whole life. So I left out and then I joined one company as an application support. First job in IT. Okay. IT. First job in IT.
How long did you work as an RF engineer, sir?
Almost 3 years, three and a half, 4 years.
God, okay.
Okay. So first job in IT as a application support. So if anyone is not in IT, a very good job is application support to be in, to just get a platform first. Okay.
Yeah,
Application support, because no skills needed in the application support.
yeah,
When you work on the application support, it is supported by a process. So when you go join application support, already there is a process defined what you have to do. So when I joined as an application support, my work was server migration. Okay, server migration, database migration, and literally as I was not from IT background, I was not knowing the database queries as well at time when I joined. Okay, what is a database, how to run that, how to, like, migration is a big thing. So database, server migration, database migration, and all tasks were supported by a process.
That means environment creation, all those things, right? Creating database, taking backups,
Creating Tomcat,
oh,
creating Tomcat,
setting
creating,
up that, running that Java application or website, all the. So
right. So I was knowing nothing what is going inside. I was just supported by the
but you
process.
learn. But documentation will be there. You'll be like operation people, what they do, whatever we give that document and all. They
Yes,
take that code and they put it. They deploy
yes,
IAS, all those things that you learn, right?
yes. Okay. How to run a Tomcat, how to troubleshoot a Tomcat server, all those things I learned here. Okay. I was
Right,
not
right.
knowing Tomcat also. What is Tomcat? It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like that.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
So all tasks were supported by a process. There was a process defined inside the process. Whatever scripts were there to run,
Right.
all those scripts were defined in that process, given in that process. Everything A to Z was given.
So documented. That's
Yes. And those things all are documented by developers and all. Okay.
right.
You just have to do that process, perform that process. Like some process were 25 points, some process were 50 points, like that. So whole day long you have to do that only.
Right.
So now here I was somehow I was closely linked to the DevOps team here. Okay. So closely linked to DevOps team.
So here DevOps team means the deployment team, right, Abhishek?
Deployment team. Now
Okay.
here what happened, like as they were giving this process and scripts and all, so I just out of curiosity, I was thinking to ask them like how there is a server migration. So for server migration, somewhere like if you want to shift any server, Tomcat server, so somewhere you have to create a new server, then you have to migrate it like this. So at once they can create 10 Tomcat servers. So actually they were using configuration management tool at that time. I asked them what is the tool. So there was a tool called Chef. Now, Chef is an old tool. Nowadays, there is Ansible as a configuration management tool. Latest tool is Ansible. Earlier, it was Chef at that time. So they created a tool with the Chef. So they used Chef and they created a tool and they named it Chef only. Okay. So Chef tool was created by DevOps team. Now, what was happening? This Chef tool, it's a nice UI they developed, and you have to just go and give the instructions inside the Chef tool. They have a nice UI. You have to fill some information and just click on create, and it will create the Tomcat servers for you or my SQL servers for you. All those things. So that is a part of application support. You don't have to bring your mind in, just follow the process, use the tool. That's it.
We will be going through Ansible, right, Abhishek?
Yes. So so Chef tool was created by the DevOps team, and Chef tool performs all these things like creating new servers and all. So I was pretty much interested. So like I thought of learning DevOps at that time. So for learning DevOps, first you have to know what are the things used in the DevOps. Okay, so I asked them how you do this. So they told about the Chef tool and all, how it was created using Chef. It was created using Chef. Nowadays we are using Ansible. We write YAML files for that Ansible. Okay, so in the YAML file, you define whole configuration. You manage whole configuration, whatever you want to do. Similarly it was Chef. Okay, so there are old tools. Chef is an old tool. So similar kind of you can say configuration management tools. So earlier was Puppet. Puppet is, you can say, legacy one or old configuration management tool, CM tool. Then came Chef, which was used by at that time in the DevOps team. So Chef. Now it's an old tool now. Old CM tool, configuration management. Nowadays, very latest, Ansible. Ansible. So this is the advanced and latest. Advanced and latest. So I asked them, okay, so they told me about the Chef tool. Then I asked them how this application. So very first thing, what you have to do, very first thing, you have to gather the information when you want to get into DevOps. So either you are working in the application support. So very first thing, what you are working upon, you should know your application. So very first question, what you are working upon. And why I'm saying what you are working upon means which application, what technology is it using. Okay, so which application. Either if you are working on application support, please make sure which application, what type of application, what technology it is supporting, what technology it is, what cloud technology it is on, right? So I asked all these questions. Okay, so I know, as I was in application support, I know there was an application. It was an EMR application, electromedical record. So it's a medical software which is used in the US. Okay, electromedical record. Now what was happening in this was web-based application which was used by the doctors in the US. Okay, and it was totally based on the JavaScript. This was based on JavaScript. Now I know what is the application, what technology it is based on. Okay, so it is based on JavaScript. Now they were using some cloud technologies also at that time. Since AWS was the earlier mover, so they were mostly dependent on AWS only. There was no Azure at that time. Okay, so mostly AWS at that time. So AWS was the cloud technology they were using. Cloud. So JavaScript is application developed on, and this was the application developed on JavaScript, AWS cloud technology. Now I was keen in how they are building, like if there is a Java code or JavaScript, how they are at some point they were using Java also. So mostly JavaScript and Java was there. Okay, I'll write it Java also here. Mostly JavaScript and Java. So when they are using Java, so I was not knowing how to do that. So some of my connections were there in the DevOps team. They were good friends. So they told me about okay, we need to build this code. Like directly, you cannot run any code in any environment. You have to build it first. You have to create a package out of it. So now comes what? Build tool. Build tools. So I asked them what build tools they use. So they told me about Gradle. Okay. So they were using in that company, they were using Gradle. What else for Java we have?
Maven.
Ant was a legacy. It's an old build tool. Gradle is the latest one. Maven is the popular one. Maven is popular build tool for Java. So these things. So they were using Gradle at that time. Then after building, you need some CI/CD, right? So
Yes.
at that time, everything was enterprise. Mostly everything was enterprise. Still, there was AWS technology. Still, mostly things they developed was enterprise tools with the enterprise tools. So they were using Jenkins at that time. Jenkins tool. So now I was gathering information at that time, or even mostly after spending 2.5 years in the application support, I was doing this thing, gathering these things. So first is the application, second is the on what technology it is developed, third is if they are using any cloud, what cloud is that, fourth, what are the build tools, fifth, continuous integration tools. Now I was not knowing all these things also, like if there is anything to build or you can say build the code and all, producing the artifact and all. I was not knowing, but told by those guys only. So I gathered all these information using some YouTube or any other things, sometimes from some friends also who were there in the DevOps team. So this is Jenkins tool. Then after Jenkins, where to deploy? So I was knowing that since I was working on Tomcat server migration and all. So
Abhishek, Maven, sorry, Maven also you will discuss, right? We are not yet done with Ansible and Maven, right?
yes, we are not there as of now.
Okay, because I am planning, I mean, when saying no, I'm trying to put that, I mean, that is what you are explaining, right?
Actually,
So that
yeah,
we'll
Rajiv asked about just giving some information on the resume part. So I
okay,
thought
okay.
of it's everyone's need.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
in
fine,
one
fine.
class we can discuss that. No worries. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So Tomcat was the environment where you will deploy the code. Okay, where we were deploying the code, it was Tomcat. For backend, we were using MS SQL. Some applications we were using. So MS, there was a cloud also here they were using, and that is their own cloud, their traditional cloud. That company was using their traditional cloud, that EMR company. Okay, so wherever they are using traditional cloud, they use MS SQL as a backend. Wherever they were using client server means, say there is a doctor and that doctor is having its own server, like there is a big hospital, they are having their own server. So we deploy the application in their server by taking connections and all. Okay, so since it was a support job, so it was my job to take the connection, call the facility, call the doctor, take the connection from them. Okay. Okay, so there were IT engineers on that side, on the doctor's side or hospital side. So we were calling them, taking the connections from them, and working for them, like deploying all these things over there. So wherever there was their traditional cloud, we were using the MS SQL as a backend, and wherever it was a client server, we were using MySQL as a backend. So when I started in application support, till that time, I got to know what is a Tomcat and MS SQL, MySQL, all these backends. Okay, so all these things. So now I got an idea after gathering all these things, what I have to put in my resume to become a DevOps engineer. Okay, so when I got all these things, so now I started transforming my resume. So I can write there, okay, what software we are working upon. So definitely it's an EMR. So since it was a product company, this was not service based. Okay, it's a product based company. They have an EMR product. Okay, so we develop these products. So how we develop, so now I have, you can say, I've showed myself in the resume. I started showing myself in the resume as a DevOps engineer. Okay, over there, DevOps engineer. Or not DevOps engineer. My actual post was support. So I was writing it as a DevOps support. DevOps support. So I wrote my actual position over there. I wrote my position as an implementation engineer. Implementation engineer.
That means role, right?
That was my role in the application support, implementation engineer. But I was like, when I start giving the interview, okay, so I told them I am an implementation engineer, but I closely work with the DevOps.
Okay. Yeah, your interest, your
Yes,
project.
yes. So once I say in the interview, I start with interview that I am an implementation engineer, and these are my work roles, and I closely work with the DevOps team. That means I know all the DevOps tools. So I start like that in the interviews.
Right.
Right, so then I started giving the brief insight. I'll share that resume, no worries, after this. So as an implementation engineer, I have written whatever tools I know over there. Okay, there was one more tool, like apart from CI/CD, server and all, you need to have monitoring also. So there was a separate team in that company for monitoring, and they were using a software called SolarWinds for monitoring that EMR application. SolarWinds software. So now I gathered all the things which I have to put in my resume. So as an implementation, I was closely working with the DevOps team, and in this way, I didn't lied. Okay, I didn't lied, but I hide. Okay, that I am not working like in the DevOps team. I am working closely with the DevOps team. Okay, so I didn't also lied, but I hide. Okay, most of the things. So
Abstraction.
yeah, pardon.
Abstraction. You used abstraction.
Yes, yes. Okay. So this is just giving an example that you can do like this. Okay. You can also do like this. So now you can start writing all the tools. Like you can now you can start writing the line in your project. Like first line you can write used Maven as a build tool. Like these lines you can write in your resume. You used Maven as a build tool. And then I don't remember the exact lines what I wrote at that time in my resume, but I share that resume. Then you can read it. Just I'm some of the lines I can show you as of now. Okay, used Maven as a build tool. Then used
Jenkins.
Jenkins, yes, as a CI tool, or you can start like that. Created. Huh. Now in Jenkins, what happens? Two types of pipelines you create: scripted pipeline and declarative pipeline. Okay, so I wrote like this: created number of scripted pipelines in Jenkins for CI, continuous integration. Okay, like these lines I wrote in my resume inside the implementation engineer, and I covered number of tools over there. Now after writing all this, like the product was actual, which we I was using as a support engineer. That product I wrote. Okay, post was mine, but whatever the lines I wrote,
What
that
you
work
learned.
was done by the DevOps team. That was not done by me.
You learned, right? So it's the learning
Still
of the.
I learned, but still it was not clear at that time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now the second thing, when you created the resume, after creating the resume, face the interviews. Okay, now facing the interviews, I have failed almost in 6 interviews. Okay, I failed in 6 interviews. After failing, what I got noticed, like what type of questions they ask. What type of questions they ask? Like very first thing, when you start with the DevOps engineer, very basic thing is operating system. And in the operating system, they will always ask you about Linux. If you are going for a simple DevOps engineer interview, or a junior DevOps engineer, associate DevOps engineer, I'm not talking about Azure DevOps engineer or any other thing. I'm talking about just simple DevOps engineer you are going. They will very basic thing, they will ask you about operating system, and that is Linux. And they will ask how proficient you are in Linux. What is the proficient? They will ask you. Okay. So I used to tell them, okay, I'm proficient in Linux. So when they start at that time in the, like I faced my first interview and it was very horrible, very horrible. Okay. So I learned some commands of Linux at that time, but they asked some things like that I was not able to answer. Like for example, I told you, like I know how to create a file in Linux. Like there is a touch command to create a file, but I was not having that maturity till then on DevOps side that I should manage to clear an interview like this. So I know create one file, touch is used, but they asked me how to create 50 files at once. So I was stunned by that. Okay, how to create this? Like this was out of syllabus, you know.
Like my interview, Abhishek.
So many questions I feel like. So I was gathering the information about CI tool, Jenkins, Tomcat, all these things. Linux also I learned some commands, but I didn't go through all the scenarios and all. Like when they talk about Linux, you should be well versed with admin Linux. Okay, admin part. Linux means admin. You should know how to administrate the Linux operating system. So you should know all the commands for Linux. Okay.
Our
I
admin classes are enough,
was
right?
not aware of that at that time.
Our admin classes are enough, right, Abhishek, for this topic? And what you're explaining now? Linux
Pardon?
administration classes are enough, right, for this to be perfect?
Whatever we learned in Linux, number of
Right.
commands, those are more than enough.
Super, super.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So Linux commands.
Mhm.
Then okay. Then for in the first interview, I failed in here only. They asked that okay, you don't know Linux as well, so you can leave. So after asking first like 4 or 5 questions only, okay. So then in second interview, I learned something on Linux, so I was able to answer the Linux part. But then they come to CI/CD, so they asked me questions from Jenkins. Now I created some pipeline in Jenkins. I tried with the, you can say, some dummy project and all, but still I was not knowing the functionality, all the functionality of Jenkins. Okay, so then in the second interview I failed there. Okay, then third interview, fourth interview, like I was gathering all the questions which was asked in continuous interviews, and then the seventh interview I cracked in Bangalore. It was a like startup company, or you can say new company. So there I cracked, and there I become a associate DevOps engineer over there. And then 1 year only they promoted me to the DevOps engineer, and then they promoted me to the senior DevOps engineer as well. So in one company only where I got in as an associate DevOps engineer, there only I got 2 promotions in 2 years, like this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super.
So it was like just a dedication kind of thing that I started loving DevOps things. So just and practicing more and more. So just got over there. So then I never looked back. Once moved into the DevOps side, and then senior DevOps engineer, then uh, senior consultant. Okay, all those things like
After this, implementation engineer is there, right, in middle?
no implementation
No,
engineer.
no, 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 no. Sir, no, I understood. Below that, I was referring. Can you go, one, two, second point you said scripted. No, from there we jumped the topic. After scripted, can we add their points?
Where
After below, can you scroll down?
Like
One, two,
pipeline.
pipeline. After that, so from there we went to this topic. That's okay. But it was nice learning.
I'll share that resume na. There you will get. Don't worry.
So that I mean, after Jenkins, what? Okay, Tomcat and might be will put some points on this. So I thought some light on that also,
Okay,
like Tomcat
like
and
these points you will get in my resume. Don't worry about that. Okay.
right. I mean, whatever we learned, you have put like what you did in project, right? Real time. That was it was mapping.
Yes, yes.
MSQL.
Okay. Actually, I don't remember all the points as of now, since it is now many years, like 8 years back.
This Maven tool is used with the .NET also.
No, no, Maven for .NET there is an MS build. At that time, I was not like I have not worked on .NET, so at that time I was not knowing.
Okay, so I mean, my profile is .NET. No, I cannot. I know Maven, but I've not used it.
MS build.
MS Build.
Yes, for .NET it's MS build.
It comes internally with the Visual Studio, right?
Yes, yes, yes. MS build comes internally with the Visual Studio. Okay. Microsoft build. So if you search for MS build and whole scenario, how, so this is totally integrated with the Visual Studio only, and also it is integrated in this pipeline. here.
Yeah. Okay. This,
Since it is .NET, mostly .NET supported architecture in
right, Azure, right?
Azure. Yes. Okay.
Are we done with this topic, Abhishek? No, right?
No. As of now, we are not. As of now, we are not gone in the pipeline section. Like
Okay.
as of now, we didn't started building this code.
Okay.
Okay. That's why as of now we didn't discuss.
Okay.
So all these things as a part of resume. Very first thing, what you are applying for. If you have a 3 to 5 year experience, please go for a associate level DevOps engineer. If you are on a mid level, like 6+ years experience, directly go for DevOps engineer. Okay, learn these things, go for DevOps, apply for DevOps. Okay, what will happen if you in 6+ years or 7+ years, if you go for junior DevOps engineer, then you are 1 year behind, like 2 year behind you will go. Okay, then again you have to catch up. It's like that. But yeah, your salary may increase. I think after, like, if I was taking a demo and I was listening one person in the demo, in Saturday demo I was giving, and he was saying that he is 15+ years of experience and his salary is 3,30,000. So I got shocked almost, like listening that, and I thought like this. I asked him to join the class. I said I'll help you. No worries. Okay. So I was shocked he was getting that. So if he also opt for junior DevOps engineer also at this time, he will get double that, like 200% hike on his salary. Still, he's 15+ years in his experience. Okay, so that level of hike you can get with good companies. Good companies. I'm not talking about startups and all.
Abhishek, how many years of experience you have in DevOps? Just like that, I was
Now
asking.
almost 10+ years experience I have.
Okay.
Uh,
So from 2013 or something you said, right? So from there we
so
can count
I started in 2007 in Idea.
IT. Okay.
Idea.
Okay.
Actually, I was in telecom first, na. I was saying that I was
Yeah,
in.
you said.
Yeah. Okay. So then till 2011, I came in application support and all. Okay. And then,
Okay.
yeah, in the from there only I started this learning DevOps and all.
Okay. 2011 say we can project as a DevOps, right? I mean cloud.
So I projected myself when I left this company. I project myself as DevOps engineer only. When I not DevOps, I wrote my role as an implementation engineer, but I told them I work with the DevOps team only.
Yeah. So from 2011 we can put as Azure, right? Azure works with that 2011.
Yes.
Okay, then 10
You
I
can
can.
write like that. If your role is application support, you can write below that my role.
I'm into coding, right? So I started like that only, as you said, right? 4 years of my initial career till 2010, I was partly doing .NET, but from 2010, I'm completely into .NET. So even I struggle like that, learning all that .NET and background stuff.
Yes. So
So I
and
can put as 10 plus, right? No?
yeah, and when I was giving the interview for DevOps at that time, mostly they prefer development people only for DevOps.
Okay, so I fit into that category.
Yes. So if you are a developer, then it's very good for you. You
Super.
can definitely directly go for a mid-level DevOps engineer.
Okay.
Okay, because you know how to develop. Okay, so deploying is just nothing. You have to learn some pipelines and all. That's it.
Like I mean once you teach us this pipeline and all these Maven tool, all these tools, right? I can
Yes.
put as senior level 8 plus, which like as
Definitely,
you said here,
definitely
no?
you can, yeah, do
Like
correct.
I wrote instead of I wrote, I reviewed or guided people to do that. That means it will become senior level, no?
Yes,
Right. So I was thinking that way.
but it should be not like that, that you, okay, you become a senior DevOps engineer, then your
We
junior
develop.
comes to you, okay, sir, what to do here?
Even that understood, Abhishek. So that's what I was mapping in this. You said in this also some PM role is there, right? Can
Yes,
you scroll down?
Yes. It's a principal DevOps engineer.
For that principal engineer,
Yeah, it's a
consultant.
almost management level.
So PMP exam, if at all it is done, I can fit into this role. Now. That was I was thinking.
Definitely you can fit. You can do a DevOps certification, Azure
Ah,
DevOps, and you can
yeah.
definitely fit into this then.
So I have because I have 14 plus years of experience, so I was thinking how to put that. So I was
So
thinking.
when I
And
was a associate DevOps engineer, there was a lady, and he was from the QA background, QA,
oh,
and he was leading my DevOps team as a principal DevOps engineer. She was leading my DevOps team as a principal DevOps engineer, and she was from
maybe
a QA background, and
oh
literally she was knowing nothing
आपका
of
dialogue
DevOps. So when we do anything, when we develop something or deploy something, or we create an infrastructure, she used to listen like that. Oh, it's like that. Okay, it's like literally she
Funny.
was not knowing. She was from the QA background. She was not knowing nothing, like knowing nothing for the.
Did you ask her? ये भी नहीं आता क्या ऐसा?
No, she was a very senior person. I think almost she was. I think more than 45 years of age. She was. So it's like that. So definitely you can become a principal DevOps engineer if you have that much of experience. No worries. You can gather the certifications. If you can crack that interview, definitely you can become. No worries.
So what will be the job as a principal engineer?
So here, yes, the job. So job will be like if we go to this some of the JDs. Okay, so DevOps engineer. Whenever you apply somewhere now, just prepare according to JD only. Okay, don't prepare anything else. Just prepare according to JD. Whatever there is in the JD, it will help you in getting clarity while giving the interview. For example, in JD, 7 things are asked for that role. So they will only ask along those 7 things only. Means if they ask that you should be well versed in CI/CD, and in CI/CD you should be well versed with Jenkins. They have written that. Okay, and they have written that you should be well versed with Maven, and then they have written some different things over there. For DevOps they have written 2 things only. Just go through these 2 things only. They will ask around these 2 things only. They will not ask any other thing. So out of 7 things for DevOps, they have written these 2 things. Then just learn these 2 things. That's it. Don't go before the interview. Don't mug up all the things if you are not comfortable with. Okay. So just go with these 2 things. Learn all the things regarding CI/CD and Maven, and just go for the interview. That's it.
Right.
And tell them that I was working in CI/CD and Maven only. I don't know anything. You can guess from here.
Super.
Okay. So whatever
Okay,
there
but
is.
one more thing, sir. I have been getting calls from Naukri and etc. So they say that your profile is shortlisted. We are moving to companies for next process. But after that, I did not get any calls. Like,
Okay, actually, what happens like from last 8 months or 9 months, since like after the COVID, okay. So there was a kind of recession kind of thing. People were not hiring from last, you can say, January only, this January. Okay. So
okay.
from almost 8 to 9 months, it was like that. People were hiring, but like I know many of people around me who got calls from 3 companies. They given the interviews, they cleared the interviews, they have given the documentation as well, but they didn't got call back to join and all. Okay. So it's as of now there is a market scenario, but yeah, coming in the coming year it will be getting good now. So don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Actually, it's not
It's a
reaching till
cycle, yeah.
interview.
It's just a cycle. Okay. Some years you will feel like, okay, there's no hiring and all. Some years they will hire like anything. Okay.
So, what is the reason, Abhishek? So, they are posting the job, but after clearing the interview and done everything, why they are
See,
not calling back?
see what was happening alongside COVID, what happened? They got a lot of work. For example, like these e-commerce sites, for an example, e-commerce site. So everyone was at home. They were just sitting idle, doing nothing, just uh, browsing websites only.
Yes.
Okay, so the
Mm.
traffic got so much increased in the COVID time that they were
Mm-hmm.
not able to manage. Okay, so like companies were hiring like anything at that time. Okay, since
Okay.
they were in the need of people. Okay, just
Mm-hmm.
to manage their workloads and nothing.
Mm.
And when the COVID is gone, like they dropped many people, right?
Yeah.
It was like that. Okay,
Mm. But
so
my question is, so they are posting the job for requirement only, right? If they don't have the requirement, why they need to post the job at the beginning?
see, there are 7 billion people in the world. Okay, and yeah, and there are many opportunities. It's like
Mm-hmm.
that you should see only one opportunity. You don't see what people are around you, how many people are around you. Just see that one opportunity. It's like Arjun was seeing the eye of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Super example.
don't see anything else. You just need one job now.
Yeah.
You don't need 10 jobs, you need one job. Focus on
Yes.
it. That's it. You will
Okay,
get it.
actually, they reaching till interview, sir. Not even first round.
No,
No,
once
I told you I
Abhishek,
failed 6 interviews.
It's not
Abhishek,
reaching till interview, sir. I'm not getting chance to interview only.
And you are giving interviews maybe on the web, right?
No, we are not. I mean, I'm not getting chance to get interviewed. I mean, it's resume
Till
gets shortlisted.
till
Listed.
now, after COVID, if you have given any interviews, did you give any interviews after COVID?
No, no,
No interviews, right?
no.
After COVID, I have given some interviews. Okay, so this every interview happened on this only Zoom call or right, Zoom or Teams or and. But before that, like 5 years back, 6 years, you have to face the interviews like face to face.
face to face, and
Yeah.
that is more
And
thought.
it was a very disappointing thing that if you don't know anything, he asked me how to create 50 files. I was
They
just
can make
like,
out with
my head
facial
was down.
expression. They can make out with the facial expression, Abhishek. I told you, right?
Yes.
When he asked me, I was good
And
at
face
technical.
to face interview like makes you so much of nervous,
Mhm.
like anything.
Yeah,
He,
but the thing is like it's I'm not getting reaching till interview point.
he is
So
saying
you
he is
will,
not getting call for the interview.
Yeah.
but there must
His,
be
re-
something. Just
his resume itself not at
like,
shortlist.
yeah, just
Correct.
I mean, they
Yes.
call me like your resume is shortlisted. We will process it further. So after that, there is no call.
no
Yeah.
worries.
So
See, there are
Every
many,
day, sir, every day I'm getting at least 3 to 4 calls, but not for interviews. Only this resume is shortlisted, and
and
we'll
there is
process
one
further.
more thing. Just from my experience, don't write anything which you don't know.
Okay.
Okay, if you write anything such like that, you know,
and the
then
other person knows it out.
that was an issue. If the other person knows it, and then he
That
We
will
don't
will.
know.
be so that will be an issue when we are discussing, no, but it's not reaching till that point.
Yeah.
Resume anyway. Abhishek told that he will share that resume. No,
I'll
Yeah,
share
yeah,
the
yeah.
resume. Okay,
Okay.
no worries. Just modify your resume according to that, and according to that means in whatever firm you are working. Okay, just take
relevance.
some application from there only, some
Okay.
Process.
product from there only. Okay,
If you
Okay.
know, at least terminology, you know.
because it was like that. This happened with one of my friend. He did not take the application from his own company. He took an application from some other company, and he was
And that
showing.
person
And that interviewer guy,
knows it.
he already worked in that company. And he asked him that from when did they started creating this type of application.
Name also same name might be triggering more.
So don't do like that. Okay, take the application from your company only. Like no one knows that which day is good for you or which day is bad for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Abhishek, one more thing. I mean, from starting to till end, whatever you say, if at all we are at least 80% through, I think we'll get job easily.
Yes.
I have that confidence after today's class. I mean, I had it before also, but today's class, at least how to project, how to prepare this resume, I'm thinking on that one.
Okay, no worries. I'll share the resume. Please go through that. And there are many good sites here nowadays. Many good sites.
Yeah, ChatGPT
Resume
also
preparation.
giving the prepare the resumes without any.
There is Canva. One website is there, Canva. This site gives very good template for resume creation. Very attractive templates.
These are only one page they are giving. So I changed entirely my complete resume style. But after it is going to second page, no, it is saying pay or you cannot download it.
No, it's not like that. I'll tell you how to do that. Mm. Wait. Let me open an incognito because there is my other login as well. Mm. Earlier, Edureka was to give a resume builder, but now I don't know. From 6 to 7 months, they have shut down that service.
Okay.
Even Naukri also they have the service resume builder.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is, I think, paid, no, Rajiv?
No, free is also there, and one is there like with minimal charges like 199.
Okay.
So free and 199 both are fine. We can try with free one.
If you are not getting calls regularly after applying, also you get demotivated. That's why I'm not applying for last 10 days.
But eventually you have to do, right?
Yeah, I thought after I'm coming back from this trip now, I thought then I'll apply. Otherwise, it is. I'm also getting depression.
Abhishek, if the principal engineer will manage the project and although the technical way should be strong, or how it is how he is managing, no? How the process.
Pardon, principal engineer? What you're asking?
Principal engineer is technically strong or something like management also should know that. So something how the job description will be there. Yeah.
Management kind of thing means how to manage a DevOps team. You should know at least.
Yeah.
Okay. So it will give you some free resume. See, some are pro, some are free. Okay. You can choose from free as well. No worries. You don't have to go for a pro. But they have a nice design, what I see for resume. So you can give just opening one of them.
Last time when it asked Abhishek, so what I did is I just took one page of PDF. I downloaded it. Again, I opened it with Word. So Word document, I created the template again.
These
So
are
that you can know.
these are resume builders. They will not let, like most of the functionalities, if you open in your local and edit, you will not be able to do that, or definitely you will be missing something out of that. So build your resume here only. Okay, it will take some time. but it will build you a nice resume. Okay. It is taking some time due to, I think, I'm sharing my screen, so most of the bandwidth is going there.
It is not loading in my mobile, I thought.
Ah, I was just
Abhishek,
showing like you can add more pages here, and you can, what you can do, you can copy the same field in the new page and you can edit it.
I did the same thing in Word, this Word, Abhishek. First, one page, if we save it in PDF,
Mm-hmm.
again open it with Word, it will have the same, same layout. So
Mm-hmm.
you can copy paste it in second thing.
Okay.
So it took a complete 1 day wasted for me.
Like this, you can add from here, add a page from here. You can add a duplicate page. You can add same page, and then you can edit these things like in place of like here you can write your first experience, second experience. If you have some more experience, you can again add a page and you can write more experiences. Okay. On the left hand side, you can define your skills, education skills. In the skills, you can define your technical skills and all those things. Okay. Oh, there are some more. See, don't use pro ones, use free ones, no worries. Okay. You can use free one. You can have like this, you can have like this. Okay.
In page 2, what do we put in the left side?
Right hand side here,
No, left side.
left
When
side.
you add next page, in this there is a plus add page, no?
Here only,
Yes.
na?
Yeah, below.
Scroll
This
down.
is that option only, same option.
Yeah. So when you add page, one more page will come up, right? So
Yes.
in the left side, what do we put? Yeah, here.
Yeah, one more page will. Don't do anything here. Delete this one. Add a duplicate page.
Okay.
Okay. Now you got the same design here.
Mm-hmm.
Now what you can do? You can remove things. Delete image. Uh, Delete frame. Now you can add as per your, like you can do like this.
But this contact details are there already, no, upside.
No, remove that
You
section.
can add it, na, bro. You can add it. Whatever you want to put in place of contact, you can put. Like here, there is education, your pro skills and all. Here you can write anything like your strengths. Just for an example.
Certifications, hobbies.
You can write strengths. You can write certifications. Like this, you can write.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, you can edit, and then once you edit this, just what you do, there's an option for it. If you click on download PDF standard, it will download for you. Okay, download it. This resume is not the pro one, so they will not ask you charge or create an account or something like that. Okay, this is a free one. Choose any of it, any from the free ones.
So use PDF format, right?
Pardon?
Use PDF format, right? Always.
Resume is also always better and best in the PDF format only. Don't give anywhere in the Word format.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like if you are maybe in your system, some line is showing here. In other system, that line will go there in Word format. Okay. So every time, like whenever you share your resume, share in PDF format only, so that everything is intact. I'll share my resume. Take some of the examples from here. Resume, like you can have like this, you can have like this, you can. This is also a good resume. Like this, you can have. See, it's not like that one page resume is not good. It's not like that. Instead, how many less number of pages will be there, your interview will be okay with that. He says, okay, I got everything in my first page only, I don't have to go anywhere else, like this. Okay, so it's not like that you will give 4 pages and he will be happy. He will say that you are displaying your 4 pages and you are knowing nothing.
Abhishek, then what about project details? For example, I worked with eight companies. Okay, each company I put only one project.
Mhm.
So pehle it was around 10 pages. Now I have shortened it to 3 to 4 pages almost.
Mhm.
We have to mention for every company, right? What
Give,
exactly we did.
give 3-4 lines of overview of a project, that's it.
Right, that's what I have also done. You
Yeah.
have shared it, right? You have seen it. That's okay.
You
No?
are, see, you are there personally in the interview to discuss the project, right? Why you are
Uh-huh.
giving on it on page?
Okay.
Just write the name of the project, what
Hmm.
is the
Oh,
technology
like,
it is based upon, if any
okay.
cloud technology used, what cloud
Okay.
technology is used,
Okay.
right? Like this. If any DevOps tools used, what DevOps tools used, that's
Right.
it, nothing else.
Okay. Okay.
Right, like that.
That tells me a lot.
Don't put whole like
Right.
Ramayana,
Right.
Mahabharata, all that. Don't do that.
Only promo.
So,
Yeah.
so Abhishek, so I am a .NET developer. Okay, is it okay to switch it from .NET developer to DevOps role
Yeah,
completely?
they prefer first choice is developer only,
Mm-hmm.
because since you know how to build a code, how to run a code, how to test it, you know everything about development. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to know about pipelines and all, just for the deployment. That's it. Learning deployment is not at all tough. Learning development is tough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you already know 65% to 70%. You just need to learn 30%. That's it. So first choice of every person who is recruiting in the DevOps role is developer only.
Okay.
Second choice is from the operations team.
Apart
Okay.
from our daily development things and all the tools and things whichever Abhishek told, like Linux, system administration part, that Ansible, all these things, if we know, just if he sees, automatically he'll decide our role also.
Yes.
No need to worry.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So if
So
they
in
will,
that
if
in
they
that
will,
case, I have 10 years experience. In first half of the experience, I can provide a developer experience. In second half, I can provide a DevOps experience, right?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
can
you
put
can
it like that.
start like that. Earlier, I was a developer. Then I started
Hmm.
working with the DevOps team. So
Okay.
yeah, I got I was working with the DevOps team, and I used DevOps tools, like I used Azure pipelines, where
Mm-hmm.
I have the knowledge for build and release pipelines. And then he will ask like, what is a build pipeline? So you can cite like build pipeline comprises of uh, an agent at the very first, like you have an agent for a build pipeline. In that
Mm-hmm.
agent build pipeline will run, and inside the agent you have different jobs. Inside the jobs you have steps. So for example, I can ask, inside the step you have task, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I can ask in the interview, okay, you know Azure pipelines, you know build pipelines. What is the basic building block of a build pipeline in Azure? What is the basic building block? It's a task, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of question anyone can ask. Okay.
Stages inside the steps inside the task, right?
Very first thing is agent.
Agent.
Ha.
Stages will become right after that.
Yes.
Multiple
Yes.
stages. Yeah.
Yes. Stage, then job, then task.
Then task.
So you can tell them like that. Okay. If they ask, uh, okay, do you know YAML pipelines? Even if you don't know, just read the syntax and go. Okay. What is the syntax for YAML pipelines? Okay. So just write, at least you should, he will ask you, open notepad, just write the syntax of YAML pipeline. So syntax is a 4-line syntax. Don't worry about that. Just mug it up and go. No worries.
Okay.
Once you go through the team, and then you will go through. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Application YAML will be taken care by the developer, right?
Yes.
Deployment will be taken care by the DevOps.
Yes,
Check.
correct. So for deploying anything, a pipeline or anything, it will
What is
be,
difference between those two, Abhishek? Um,
pardon.
he said the application YAML will be different. What is that?
Application YAML means like you are
It
running.
is like I will explain. It is like we have all the steps to for the Java code, right? So we have all the configurations over there, right?
Yes.
Okay, web.config he's talking about. Okay, config file. Okay, then
No, that is not config file. It's like property file.
Properties file.
You define your variables like environmental variables or
okay,
any.
JSON files.
I can tell you. I can tell you. You know about
Yeah,
Docker file.
Which one? Which one?
Docker file.
Docker.
Docker, you know, na Docker. What is
Docker.
containerization, right? So
The
inside a Docker file, you have all the configurations about the code and all, where you will be implementing the code and all, right?
Right.
Using a Docker file, you create an image. Now this task is for the developer. Okay.
Okay.
When an image is creating, running that image inside a container, that part is for the DevOps engineer.
Okay.
Okay. Somewhere that part is also for the developer only.
Okay.
What is the DevOps engineer part? Only configure it. Only configure the pipeline, use that image, use that this Docker image, and run it in some inside the container. That's it. Okay. So configuration management part means managing the environment, managing the architecture. All those part is of DevOps. Like if you want to deploy some application and there you need to use Docker and Kubernetes, that part is yours. Okay, you have to manage Docker, you have to create the environment. That part is the DevOps engineer's part. And now either you create it using Ansible as a configuration management tool, either you use Terraform, either you use anything. It's up to you.
Those are yet to be covered now, Abhishek. That's the reason I was confused. Docker Kubernetes.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we are done with that, I think we can exactly put where we sit. I mean, where we fit regarding the experience and whatever you told, right?
Mhm.
All the topics first we should be perfect in my view. 85% above. Then we can clear. Perfect.
Yeah. So Abhishek, you will be sharing that resume, right? So
Yeah, I'll
that
be sharing
we
one
can
resume.
update. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be sending you some resume templates.
Okay, so that template will have some points from Azure,
Yes,
whatever you
some
have done.
points regarding DevOps and all, how to write those points and all, you can have from there. But you will just like this one, take this template and replace it. Okay.
Mhm.
In about me section, you will write by your own. Don't copy it from any resume. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people they copy about me section also. I know.
Yeah.
So don't
Okay,
do
now,
that.
so from like what I was asking is this AZ104 we have covered, right?
Yes.
So from there, what exact points we can put, like that I was asking.
From easy 104, you can put like, for example, if someone will take an interview, he will ask how well versed is are with you with the this Azure admin part.
Mhm.
You can say I can manage all the services which comes under the admin part in Azure. What is inside the syllabus? I can manage all those things, starting from a virtual machine to the network part, virtual networking, then implement intersite connectivity, that is VNet peering. All those things you can name one by one. So once you name all the things one by one, whatever we covered in the admin part, he will come to know that you know everything.
Okay, sir.
So no specific mention, right, Abhishek, that otherwise it will take you only to system administrator kind of role, right?
Yes.
You should say that I have that experience. Okay, I can use that also.
Yes. You can say that earlier I worked in that role too, like cloud admin and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Fair enough, I think.
Okay. I'll share the resume. Just take the points and I'll share some 6 to 8 resume. You can see whatever the points you feel they are good, you can apply it here, taking some of the templates, like you can take this one, all the free templates you can scroll through, you can take any template from here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, whatever you want. Don't go for pro one. Okay, don't spend any money in the pro one. Just take the free ones.
Okay.
Site reliability engineer will be like only troubleshooting, or it is comes under the deployment
Site
also.
reliability engineer is more technical side.
Oh.
More technical means you have to drill down through logs. You have to perform troubleshooting part. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like this, like if there are 100 Kubernetes clusters running and
Mhm.
in an organization, and they will give you the part, okay, check for the Kubernetes clusters which are not running, why they are not running,
Mm.
what is an issue with the Kubernetes cluster, check the logs.
It's totally is like monitoring, right? So monitoring the cluster and like past times IAS teams, like that team is monitoring that kind of things, right? That's a team.
SRE, yeah, SRE is mostly to the most of the technical part he can handle about that.
Okay, okay.
Like he can look into some developer things also. Like if,
Like
yeah, if
architecture.
developer is not able to build, okay,
Mhm.
then he may drill down to that thing also. Why is not able to build? What is the issue? Like this. So
That is comes
developer
under
people
DevOps,
can do
right?
that. Developer people can do that. Okay, no worries.
Oh,
Yeah, operations people cannot do that. It's a difficult for the operations team to drill
only
down through the
DevOps will
code.
be do the Docker, creating the Docker and building the
Sometimes I
images.
tell you, sometimes what happens when there is an issue with the application,
Yeah,
it's a kind of a blame game. Developer will put
yeah. That's
you
a
not
that's a
developer
that's
will put
uh,
that there is an issue with
ah
the architecture.
yeah,
Ops
yeah,
engineer will say it is the issue with the code.
yeah. That's
Okay,
point
so
I just
if you are
asked.
an SRE, you are safe.
Uh, okay, okay.
You will drill down whosoever its mistake is. Okay.
Yeah.
If you are a DevOps plus SRE, then it's very good. You can always drill down and you will say, okay, developer, it's your mistake.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
That's
Because developer will also come to know, okay, you know the code also.
yeah.
Yeah. So he will never mess up with you.
Because they're like you as you said, like blaming that only the DevOps. So now we are handling the DevOps engineer roles plus the developer roles also. That's why we are drill down the logs and drill down the solution also. They're going to be given the solution. So they are expecting like solution also that one.
I've
So that's why
when
I'm asking.
when I was joined as an associate, they always kind of like put a blame on like DevOps team. So it comes to many times it comes to me. Okay, there's a always and they will come with their manager. They will not come alone to just give
Yeah,
him pressure on you.
yeah.
They will come with their manager. Okay, there is an issue. Our code is okay, and it's
You
total
are the problem is.
responsibility for the infra team.
Yeah.
Okay, they will put like that, and you will go to your manager, and they will screw you then. Okay,
Yes, that's
and if
fine.
you are an SRE, a senior DevOps engineer, then you can drill down through the code and you can tell them that okay, it's your guy's mistake.
Yeah, that's point we need to understand. The
Yes,
code has to be understand that then we can
yes.
say that
Now
it's
I
not about.
understand. Now I understand the code also.
By
Like
learning only.
so, like it's like that. I cannot code. I cannot code, but I know the logic of the code. How?
That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't
That's we need to
code,
understand.
Abhishek.
Pardon?
You don't code. You don't code.
I don't code.
No,
Okay.
not required.
I'm
DevOps
from the
not required.
application support and then from the
Application support
operations
not
team.
required.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I was not. I was never a developer. Okay.
So that time, so we have to understand the solution architecture will be helpful for the developing the
Correct,
something like
correct.
understand the code, right? So we have to be like SRE to be SRE though, so we can understand the we can learn the solution architecture will be helpful, right?
Yes. Okay, it's like that. So, like you should know the basic things now. Whenever you are building the code or doing something, very basic things are what are the basic things. Like very first thing you write the source code. So there is a source code. Then there are packages, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you will do to the packages? Very first thing you will download, right? From the
Yes.
repositories. Okay.
Yeah.
Like if we talk about .NET, there will be NuGet packages, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
source code plus packages. Then what you will be restoring the packages, right? You'll be restoring. So first thing source code, then packages, downloading the packages, then restoring the packages. Okay. Then
What,
then
what are
comes the
you talking
building.
about, Abhishek?
Pardon?
What are you talking about here?
I'm just talking about the cycle when you
Okay, okay.
develop or deploy some code.
Restore means you are saying the feature branch, right?
Yes.
So feature branch to dev branch, dev to release to
No.
main.
Restoring, I'm talking you about the life. See, very
Yeah, I
first
understand.
thing,
I understand. Yeah.
your source code. Second thing, you are building the code. So say, for example, this source code is on Java, and now you are using Maven as a build tool.
Build
Now
them.
Maven alone is having 7. Okay, Maven is having its own life cycle. Okay, and inside Maven, in this life cycle, there are 7 goals inside this life cycle. Now, what are these goals? Very first goal, like validate. Like what is the code? You have to validate. Then you
Yeah.
have to compile it. Then like this, there are 7 goals in the Maven life cycle only. So as a developer will know what are the 7 goals. But
Yeah.
if you are site reliability engineer, you also know what are the 7 goals inside Maven, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Normal people from the operations team, they will not know what are the 7 goals inside Maven. They will just know Maven is a build tool. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. They are creating the Docker and deploy into the
Correct.
build. That's it. Deploy into the Kubernetes.
Yes. So these all things come through, like more you study, more you will get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for today. I'll stop the class here. I have another class at 10. Okay.
Abhishek, on